guys, it's Tiffany with Spot on Spirit, psychic, Reiki master, and spirit medium. Thank you for tuning in to this truly insightful video. Keep it rockin' because Todd GOrny of KTBG Radio will be giving us a brief overview of this Zodiac sign. Don't go anywhere because JOHN DIVON, aka The Foundation, aka my boyfriend, will be reading an in-depth synopsis of my favorite sign from Linda Goodman's Sun Sign Astrology book. Remember, be original and be you. Beeboobopboo.
Hello, this is Todd GOrny from KTBG Radio, coming at you live 24/7. Keep it rockin', booyah, and my newest one, boom! I want to thank people for listening, and I'm doing the horoscopes from 1 through 12, all the way, all the months. So thank you for listening, and enjoy. Capricorn, December 22nd through January 19th. Symbol, sea goat. Ruling planet, Saturn. House ruled, 10th. Element, Earth. Mode, Cardinal. Keyword, achieve. Capricorn people are ambitious, practical, and are likely to have an excellent sense of social responsibility. They also tend to be conscious of social mores, perhaps to the point of over-concern, and can suffer from feeling insecure. They are driven, yet cautious, which allows them to advance slowly and steadily to the top. Thank you for listening, and if you like what you hear, please share. Hey, this is a special shout out to Philip Daro, who's in a band called Pompous. My thanks to him. And please listen to the band Pompous. PMA. Remember those 3 letters because they're important to your life. PMA. Positive mental attitude. If you don't have that, you're missing out on life. Thank you.
And be you. Beeboobopboo.
Capricorn, the goat, December 22nd through January 20th. How to recognize Capricorn. It's anything but a breeze to grasp the Capricorn character. You'll learn to recognize this sun sign, but you'll need some preliminary practice. Study the quiet spider in the corner. He hasn't a chance against the fast-flying insects, but they get caught in his cleverly spun web. And the spider wins. Remember, Aesop's slow tortoise, humorlessly crawling in that race. He hasn't a chance against the quick, bright hare. But the flighty hare goes in all directions, forgetting the goal. The tortoise wins. Observe the goat as he scales the mountainside. He hasn't a chance against the strategy of the smarter humans who pursue him. But the hunters fall behind as the sturdy goat climbs determinedly from crag to crag on his uniquely designed hooves, and the goat wins. Now study a Capricorn. Where will you find him? Just about anywhere he can advance or improve himself. Anywhere he can get ahead and further his secret ambitions. Try a social gathering. The Capricorn is not a carefree party type, but the goat we're studying is a social climber as well as a mountain climber. Pick a mixed group, preferably in the upper income level. You can also try the middle income level, but the lower you go beneath that, the smaller your chances of finding a Capricorn. He probably won't be wearing a lampshade on his head, tap dancing, or calling attention to himself in any way. He'll be the admiring spectator in the background. You may not even notice him at first, as he quietly and calmly watches all the flashy, pushy, charming, aggressive, and brilliant personalities around him. Everyone in the group will seem to have superior equipment for the race. Any race. Lots of them are bluffing. Some of them are afraid. But they're all highly polished, and the Capricorn doesn't seem to have a chance against them. Yet, he will win. A couple of years ago, I visited the bookstore of a New York astrologer. As I carelessly scattered my gems of wisdom, gave him unsolicited advice about what books he should stock, and argued astrological theory with him, I learned he was a Capricorn, and he learned I was an Aries. Smugly, I guessed his correct ascendant, talked faster, moved faster, and seemed to dominate the scene. Before I left, he gave me a charming, gentle smile, and in a fascinating Hungarian accent, he said a funny thing. He said, Capricorn will always triumph over Aries. The goat will win over the ram. It was spoken lightly, but he was quite serious. Outside the bookstore, I laughed to myself. Imagine such conceit, I thought. No one can top a double Aries. Know what? When I can't find certain books I need to have been out of print since Noah built the ark, the Capricorn comes up with them. Gradually, I've been forced to pay respectful tribute to his superiority. Now here I am crediting his sun sign with qualities I envy, but don't possess. You see, Capricorn won. Another confession. As an Aries, I hate to take direction. No Aries writer can stand to have anyone edit his work. Recently, it was suggested that a Capricorn woman go over some material I had written. I was infuriated. Outwardly, I agreed. But secretly, I decided that she wasn't going to change a single word of the product of my genius. I would only pretend to go along. She made her suggestions quietly, almost timidly, and against my will I saw only too clearly how intelligent they were. Why hadn't I thought of cutting that phrase or changing that word myself? After I grudgingly followed her instructions to the letter, the improvement in the material was painfully obvious. Capricorn won again. I've finally made up my aggressive Aries mind that it's no use to fight them. You might as well do the same thing. Pity the high-pressure salesman who sizes up his Capricorn pigeon and thinks, this guy is a pushover. I can sell him the Brooklyn Bridge. He has a lot to learn. Since the goat merges into the group so gently, unconsciously camouflaging himself into the background, it's not always easy to recognize the physical characteristics of this sun sign. Capricorns can be stocky and muscular, thin and weary, or plump and soft. But no matter how the body is shaped, the goat will give the impression of being rooted to the spot. until he decides to move to another spot. Generally, Saturn people have straight, lank, dark hair, dark, steady eyes, and swarthy olive or tan complexions. You'll see Capricorns with curly blonde hair and blue eyes. But watch them closely. Honestly now, don't they really look as if they should have been born with dark hair, eyes, and skin? It's a point, but valid. Take Marlene Dietrich, for example. Dresden China complexion, green eyes, and corn silk hair. Look again. Observe her calm, deliberate actions. Listen to her deep, throaty voice. Note her legendary tough business head and her earthly ambition. Aren't these more synonymous with the steady, reliable image of a brunette? Master this subtly, and you'll never be fooled by the appearance of a Capricorn. There's always a faint aura of melancholy and seriousness surrounding the Saturn personality. None of them completely escape the Saturine influence of stern discipline and self-denial. Many Capricorns have strong feet and wear sensible shoes. Their hands are capable. Their voice is usually even and soothing, and you'll probably notice a gentleness that flatters and persuades. Capricorns can look and act as harmless as a feather quilt, but they're as tough as a keg of nails. They hammer away persistently, relentlessly, managing to digest insults, pressures, disappointments, and duty as calmly as the goat digests rusty cans, broken glass, and cardboard. Like him, they have iron stomachs and dangerous horns, while the gay, laughing extroverts scatter their energies hither and yon. Capricorns never deviate an inch to the left or right. They steadily follow the upward path with inbred faith and the security of the well-traveled road, and contempt for the enticing shortcuts they know are full of pitfalls. Capricorns have an enormous admiration for those who have preceded them to the top of the mountain and who have laid down the laws for the journey. They court success. They respect authority and honor tradition. Lots of energetic, impulsive people label them snobbish and stuffy. The goat could conversely label his critics rash and foolish, but usually he's too wise to make unnecessary enemies by indulging in such self-defense. The Saturn-ruled submit. They agree. They adapt. Or do they just appear to do so? Capricorn allows others to walk in front of him, but he often gets there first, against all law. He's careful to avoid the obstacles, the sharp rocks. No wonder he seldom stumbles.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jay Fratt of the Conservative Hippie Podcast. I just wanted to give you a quick breather. While in just a moment, we're going to get you back to the smooth recording from JOHN DIVON, reading about the best zodiac sign of the bunch, your zodiac sign, from Linda Goodman's Sun Sign Astrology book. It's crazy to find all these unique areas that relate to you and your sun sign. Please take a moment when you finish listening to leave a comment with a few traits you identify with your zodiac sign. And if you like what you're hearing, subscribe, like, and share. JOHN DIVON has also been featured reading some of the zodiac signs for Stoner Horoscopes at stonerhoroscopes.com. They're uploaded at the beginning of each month for all 12 of the zodiac signs. And yep, they even make it into a podcast, available on iTunes and Google Play. I would like to take a moment to thank him for his friendship and time that he invests to share all the rich goodness with you fine people. I would also like to thank him for joining me on the Conservative Hippie podcast. John has been a guest twice on the Conservative Hippie podcast. You can find those episodes on iTunes, Google Play, and at theconservativehippie.com. Well, thanks again for listening, and I hope to see or hear from you. I want to finish my brief intermission with a shout out to Todd GOrny of KTBG Radio, Tiffany, the Reiki Master Psychic Medium found at Spot On Spirit, and the one and only Adora Zen, writer of Stoner Horoscopes, found on Twitter at Adora Zen. Always remember to be original, be you, Beeboobopboo. And now back to your listening pleasure. Enjoy.
No wonder he seldom stumbles. His eyes aren't fastened on the stars. He keeps his gaze fastened ahead, and his feet firmly planted on the ground. Jealousy, passion, impulse, anger, frivolity, waste, laziness, carelessness are all obstacles. Let others trip and fall over them. Not Capricorn. He may glance briefly behind him with pity for the failures, or in grateful tribute for past advice and help, but he'll soon continue his steady upward climb until his goal is reached. There are Capricorns who are deliciously romantic, who understand the strange light of the moon and the glorious colors of the butterfly's wing. But they won't let their emotions blind them to the facts. Not if they're typical Saturn people. If Capricorn writes a lovely poem full of imagination and illusion, the theme will be solid and the punctuation will be correct. It will come to the point, and the sentiment will never be allowed to slosh over the edges. Don't defy the conventions if you want the respect of the goat, even the more daring ones, and they are the exceptions, will observe at least the outer trappings of social acceptability. Public scenes and raw, naked, uncontrolled passions embarrass them. An occasional Capricorn will forget to hide his ambition and refuse to work unless he's at the head of things. Then he becomes a stubborn goat who insists on starting at the top of the ladder, where he feels he belongs. Naturally, such an attitude produces a gloomy, pessimistic, cold, and selfish person who's impossible to satisfy. But a couple of hard bumps usually suffice to set him on the right path. Young Capricorns are typically more contented than older Capricorns, and there's a good reason. In almost Chinese fashion, the Saturn-ruled youngsters idolize ancestors and elders. Respect for the wisdom of age and experience is ingrained in the Saturine nature. When they mature and the honorable ancestors and the old folks are gone, the wild actions of the modern generation can frighten and bewilder the conservative goats. They go about saying, shaking their heads and murmuring about the good old days. Luckily, however, a fair percentage of them adapt to meet the challenge. It's a warm thing to watch a gray-haired Capricorn cheerfully coveting with youth, learning the first time the joys of childhood he missed as a serious youngster. Older Capricorns either behave like frustrated dill pickles, or they happily roll hoops and dance the boogaloo. A few of them, caught in the uncomfortable middle, grin with suppressed excitement as they sit on the sidelines and tap their feet in time to the music, but never quite gather the courage to jump on the carousel. You'll seldom find the straight, well-shaped Capricorn, nose stuck in other people's business, or the Saturn tongue wagging in gossip. If the sun sign is combined with afflicted Gemini or Pisces influences, there may be a little gabbiness, but normally they're content to mind their own affairs. They won't often hand out unsolicited advice, but when you deliberately seek their practical wisdom, they won't hesitate to give it with stern overtones. They'll expect you to accept it, too. The Capricorn has learned to cope with duty and responsibility and to tolerate frustration. If you can't follow his example, he'll waste little time trying to teach you and allow you only a pinch of sympathy. You may read that Capricorns marry for money or social position. That's an exaggeration, though I will say that it was doubtless a Capricorn who remarked, "It's just as easy to fall in love with the conductor as it is to have a fling with the second violin." The practical goat rarely leaps into business or marriage unless he's prepared financially for the former and emotionally for the latter. These people will do strange things for security. Old age is constantly on the saturnine mind. Even the young Capricorns who instinctively enjoy visiting Uncle Jasper or Aunt Minerva. After all, the doting relatives might have a few bonds or some property, besides the fact that they're comfortable and familiar. One certainly wouldn't want to see a fortune willed to a pet canary. You may think such an attitude is cold and calculating, but to the Capricorn, it's sensible. Opportunity never has to knock twice at the goat's door. He'll hear the first knock. In fact, he's been leaning against the door, listening and waiting for it. In childhood, Capricorns are inclined to be weaker, more sickly than other youngsters, but both strength and resistance to disease increase with age. The sober, temperate nature of the typical goat gives him amazing endurance and such potential for survival that it's not unusual to find him living past the century mark. Saturn people should be able to avoid doctors and hospitals, but they don't because fear, uncertainty, worry, and gloom are deadlier than germs. No amount of practical diet, conservative habits, and stubborn resistance to illness can overcome the dangers of pessimism. Capricorns who want to avoid sickness should have plenty of outdoor exercise and develop a more positive, outgoing personality. The fresh air of the country and the fresh breezes of tolerance will work magic with saturine health. Almost all goats of both sexes have sensitive skin. There may be nervous rashes, allergies, roughness and chapping, some peculiarity of perspiration, enlarged pores or acne, stomach disorders from incompatible foods, and mental distress are common. broken arms and legs may occur. The kneecaps, joints, and bones are vulnerable areas. And paralysis. Severe headaches and kidney infections are further fruits of saturine melancholy. They will either have beautiful, white, strong teeth or constant problems with decay and continual visits to the dentist. One or the other. Generally speaking, if they avoid the lingering illnesses caused by lingering depressions, the Capricorn tenacity for life is remarkable. But it's no fun to be the last leaf on the tree if you're suffering from arthritis. The goat must seek the sunlight and laugh at the rain to stay healthy. He's such a shy, sweet soul, a trifle stubborn perhaps, but gentle about it. He seems so harmless. What a safe person to trust and confide in. How pleasantly he builds your ego. Who could hurt him or suspect him of ambition? All the while, Capricorn is using your own weaknesses, conceits, and jealousies to make himself stronger. He's useful and eventually so indispensable that you ask him to take over the reins. Then he'll rule unobtrusively in the corner, modestly pulling the strings of authority. The goat submerges his ego to gain what his ego truly desires, the position of the real leader. With kindly but stern, cautious wisdom, he guards the past from neglect and protects the present from confusion, so you can build tomorrow safely. He doesn't have to lead the parade with a big brass band. He gives permission for the parade and plans its route from behind the scenes. All the daring high-wire acts need the Capricorn's strong, safe net when they miscalculate and tumble. The discipline and formality of jet black and blue, the solid practicality of brown, the deep, honest dreams of dark green. These are the quiet colors of his enduring rainbow. Walk slowly through his silent forest, carpeted in soft moss and climbing ivy, and seek the 8 hidden treasures of Saturn. Rich, red rubies lie buried beneath the Capricorn weeping willow. Stay and learn the eternal beauty of the pure, smooth onyx. Capricorn lead is solid, and Capricorn coal builds lasting fires.
Well, you're just going out and doing things. A lot of people have ideas, but that's where it stops.
I do enjoy executing ideas.
They're always the ones that say, I had that idea, I wanted to do that, I had that idea. An idea is nothing. An idea is the easiest part. It's the execution of the idea that's so hard, in my opinion.
Right.
It really is. You know, and then when you're around other creative people and they have an idea, it's so wonderful to say, that's a great idea. I've got that in my pocket.
It's hard to complete them. It's sometimes like reading a really good book.
Yeah.
You get into a really good book, you kind of don't want to read it. You don't want it to be over. It's hard to finish. You know, like you start off ideas and then once you finish, it's over. But you need to know that there's more ideas, so you need to finish it and get to your next great idea.
Be original and be you. Beeboobopboo.
Beeboobopboo. Bye bye mess. Redefining mealtime, one bowl at a time. As a mother of 3 children, I can't count how many times dinner ended up on the floor, the wall, in the other's hair, on my face. You get the picture. With the Beeboobopboo suction bowl, each child gets their own color and dinner stays at the table. I hope you and your family enjoy this suction bowl as much as I do. With love, Beeboobopboo. Product features: Stay Put Suction. The silicone-based suctions to any surface without leaving a mark. The easy design makes cleaning simple. Compartments. With modular compartments, the bowl is perfect for on-the-go meals and build your own snacks. Seal-to-snap lid. The airtight lid seals with a snap and keeps food fresh and eliminates spills. Reviews. Love the quality and sturdiness of these bowls. As a mom of 2 girls, these help me to minimize accidents and to streamline our snack packing for trips. The packaging and presentation was also adorable. Thank you. This is a fantastic product. My son is 7 months old, and we're in that stage where he wants to grab everything. When we use this bowl, it's so much less messy. It sticks until you want it gone. I only got one, but I need more. I use it for my son who has motor skill issues. He is able to eat with one hand, but has issues using the other to hold the bowl in place. This suction bowl allows him with just one hand to eat independently. Contact information. Get in touch with us at admin@beeboobopboo.com. We love to hear your stories. Beeboobopboo. Cleaning up after your little ones can make mealtime stressful. With a stay-put suction base and a snap-to-seal lid, Beeboobopboo bowls work to keep dinner on the table so you don't have to.